Hello and welcome to the Arena Sports Show. My name is Clauiee Grace Mpanza, and well, we need to look into the South African football history books. The three gentlemen that join me today will definitely be there as they've urged their names. They will start with my favorite influencer who claims to play in the middle of the park. He nicknames himself Zizu. Mahlatse Mphahlele joins us today. And then you have a man who knows all too well. Now, he's not claiming. He's definitely got the accolades, the skill, the elegance. And of course, Oupa Manyisa is what you call him. I call him Oupa, I'm call him Ace. He's the one that joins us today. And then when you have, of course, the cheese. When you talk about maturing with fine age, we've seen that in football. Lebohang, Mokoena will join us today. I mean, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Cheese, yeah, you know, my Sutu, I tried. It's absolutely bad. But we'll start with you. I mean, we were in Lesotho with you, Oupa, as well, a few months ago, sometime last year. Yeah. You won Man of the Match accolade, which I was quite impressed by. So you still have it. You clearly retired because his situation.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me, you know, and I think it's just something that I've always loved, you know, playing football. Lisekazini forever.
Ah, look at you.
I mean, I have so much passion for the game, you know, even at my age. I think you saw the performance, you know. I was just maybe on like gear number 4 there. But
I wasn't giving too much now.
Yeah, but no. But yeah, man, it's been a good journey, you know, and there is always a time when it's time to let go of certain things,
And I mean, Oupa, we were talking about your relationship with cheese, and I got to saw a glimpse of it as well in Lesotho, and just the brotherhood that you guys have. I mean, we talked about this as well with Shiva, that being Brighton and Mhlongo, is that the nice thing about this generation is that there's the brotherhood that we still see.
Yeah, and thank you for inviting us. Even though we come from a long trip.
I can tell, boy,
But yeah, the brotherhood is there because some of us, we were lucky.
Yeah.
We got to the festival, there was about cheese and dugudugus. So we grew under them, and we have learned a lot of things.
And we'll definitely be talking about that because you spent a good 24 months learning before playing for Orlando Pirates. We'll get to that. Influencer, how are you doing?
Good. When I
ballers, hey? Actual ballers.
Mina, I'm always cooking.
Zizo.
Yeah, but I think it's always nice seeing the guys. When they first started, I think I was already in the game myself as a journalist, and you know, saw them grow. I was just telling Ace now that I vividly remember a game he played in Nelspruit. Well, you know,
the best city
at the
in
Mbombela
this country.
Stadium against Tottenham Hotspur, against Modric, Jermaine Janas, and all those guys. And if I'm not mistaken, or for me, that was possibly the best match that I've seen him play in that match. And you know, I've seen the guys many for a long time. I mean, I remember the happy people. You guys used to kill teams there, you know. So yeah, it's nice to see them. We come a long way.
And the one thing they both have in common, playing for Orlando Pirates and leaving to go play for the same club.
Yeah, that's drama. I've always wondered, what do they consider themselves more as you know?
South African legends.
Okay.
There you go. Oupa has answered it.
Yeah, it's always tricky, that one. I don't know which WhatsApp group they are on the Sundowns Legends or the Sundowns one, but
South African legends is what you are now. All right, that's where we are. I mean, so much to talk about. We'll be going down memory lane and, of course, looking into the Betway Premiership fixtures that we had over the weekend. But for now, let's start by finding out what's in your top stories.
Miguel Cardozo has predicted that Mamelodi Sundowns and Orlando Pirates are going to drop points during the run-in, and the race for the championships will go down to the wire. Cricket South Africa has confirmed the names of the 15 Proteas women's players who have been offered national contracts for the upcoming 2025-2026 season. Kaizer Chiefs coach Nasreddine Nabi has for the umpteenth times asked for patience as they suffer their 9th Betway Premiership defeat through Cheeseboy.
Certainly a lot has been happening, and that makes it always so difficult to choose your star of the week. Influencer, who has impressed you?
I'm going rugby. Cheslin Colby, the South African men's player of the year. I think it comes on the back of a fantastic season he had last season for the Springboks, where they pretty much won everything. And yeah, I think for me, Cheeseboy will be the star of the week.
And then you, Cheese?
I'll go with Mbokazi. I think the young man, you know, he's stepped into the lion's den. I mean, I'd say, you know, because playing for Pirates, especially in these games like these, I mean, this was just one of the crucial games, you know, and they put the youngster in there, showed no fear, got the man of the match. I think a great prospect for the future. Yeah.
I think they're still trying to find Ribeiro. He really put him in his pocket. He's still missing, I'm told. What about you, Oupa?
No, for me, I will go with Cheese and add on to what he said.
Yeah.
The boy was marvelous. He showed no cracks.
Yeah.
He played like he's a seasoned player.
And I mean, we might as well then start by looking into that encounter. We'll start with Kimberley because that's where you guys were. Talk to us about Mtswako lifestyle, how it was, and just engaging with the fans, their reactions, because I'm sure it was just as heated in Kimberley.
Yeah, well, it was amazing. You know, the people there showed us so much love. You know, I mean, as the Betway squad, you know, when we got there, I think most of the guys were like, "Hey, guys, we've only seen you guys while you guys were playing, you know, and now today."
And you were like this on TV, but now.
yeah. On TV, but you're like this, but look at you now, you know.
Yeah.
So I think a great initiative, because sometimes in these kind of provinces or places, I should say, they hardly get the opportunity to meet up with their favorite players, their favorite legends, you know, and through Betway, you know, they've made it possible. Yeah. And also something different to sit around the fans and watch the game.
True.
You know, it's a different feel, you know, because most of us, we've been onto the field and yeah, we don't know what's happening up there or around the fans, whether they're at a lifestyle at Chilas or at the stadium. So we also, for us, was a great experience to actually hear the comments, because at some stage, oh, it means even us when we were playing. These are the comments.
There was a point where it was Pirates and Sundowns support. They made me sit in between
Right in
them.
the middle.
Yeah.
That's
When
nice.
these ones are celebrating, I must go up. And this one said, I must go up. So it was quite nice.
Yeah.
Did Major eventually speak his language? Because Lee Major, you know, like yes.
He did. Major just had the mic, you know. He was the MC.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you know, interacting with the fans, it was brilliant. It was very nice. And we had fun, and we left some good experiences. We also had an opportunity to go to visit some of the local clubs, to give them playing kit,
Nice.
you know, jerseys, you know, and also have some small motivational talks, because they feel that they don't have the opportunities, because no scouts come there, and they do have talent, you know. So yeah, I think that also was just one of the good highlights that we did there.
So, quick one. You guys, you Mahlatse now, because I mean, I look at that Betway squad. And he's definitely a Grootman, and you hang out around him. Happy Jell is also there. So, do you guys consider yourselves the Grootmans? No?
You are hot man.
Good man. She's father, no. She's father.
So it's quite nice, because for us to be around Boye and Shaba, it shows for in a game, it's only personal inside the field. But outside the game, there's a lot that we can do together. Because we even went to play a game against that Kimberley United. And we beat them 2-0, because few days ago they said to us they will make us run. And we said, okay, it's fine. And all we did is go behind the ball and press them.
Young players. They put in young players. They woke us up early in the morning. No, you must come, guys. We need this game. Like, okay, sharp. So we just kept things simple. Yeah. We had the killer there. I mean, who's next, man? Who's next?
I want to come.
It's a nice experience, because we get to play with these boys and show them that it's possible.
They don't try to tackle you, because I know go five aside.
They want to play football like us.
Okay, that's good. All right, I'm glad that you guys enjoyed it, and to, of course, those who showed up in Kimberley as well, really pleased for you guys to, of course, have the opportunity to engage and watch the game with, of course, your South African legends. We'll talk about the game now, and I mean, you've mentioned Mbokazi. I mean, we might as well start with Orlando Pirates, but we'll start with Sipho Chain, because there is what a lot of people are saying, a crisis in terms of goalkeeping. Talk to us about Chain and Ronman on the other side in terms of goalkeepers, and then we'll go into the field of play. What did you make of their performances from both sides?
For me, they are doing very well. They are doing. I don't think we have a crisis with goalkeepers. We have quite a lot of number of goalkeepers. Even if you can go to Stellenbosch, there's a good goalkeeper there.
Yeah,
Sage.
Sage.
Yeah.
So I don't think we have a crisis with goalkeepers. The only thing that we need to do is to improve them. Make sure that they play international friendly so that they can grow.
Yeah.
Yeah, because just to add, I think also sometimes maybe this issue is a little bit exaggerated. You are at Super Sports, we've got two, Gauss and
Sydney Morbier, I believe, is also there.
you know, and you know, at other teams also we've got goalkeepers. Just that maybe the issue is we are not producing enough. That can be there, but currently now you've got Ronza, you've got Sipo, you've got Sage, you've got Gauss, you've got Veli.
Yeah.
So we've got 5 guys who not maybe in the same quality, but if there's a problem with Ronza, any of these guys can step up and be Bafana goalkeeper. So it's not really a crisis, but we should be producing more.
I fully agree with you on that one. I think to produce the goalkeeping department and the players, it's been a challenge. I think in our country, we find the keepers there and there. I'd say from experience, because I work with kids under 12s, under 13s. When you start talking to them and saying, okay, who plays where? Everybody wants to be a striker.
There's no goalkeeper.
I'm Messi, I'm Ronaldo, I'm Tembazwane, I'm Lord, I'm this, you know. And I'm like, guys, but then we need someone.
We need the goalkeeper,
the goals, you know.
Yeah.
So I think at that level, we need to get guys, the former guys, Abu Munipi, you know, Poprine. We need to get those guys that were our number ones, E2 as well. You know, we need those guys to actually step up wherever in their areas, you know, because they should have an eye for goalkeepers.
That's because even now, leading into this international window, Ronza only played 2 matches. He was out injured. People were, what's going to happen here now? It just shows to the little bit of concern, but as Asa said, it's not a crisis. I mean, we have got guys who can step up whenever are needed.
All right, that is clarified. Now let's go into infield. I mean, you touch on Mbokazi. I think also notable, Sibisi. I was quite impressed. I just don't know if it was on shot on your camera, but when we were at the stadium, there's a point where the ball went out, and he was just urging the fans to say, come on, guys, cheer on the fans, literally the second half, because there's a point where Pirates fans were a bit quiet a little bit, especially when Sundowns was putting the pressure. And I was so impressed by his leadership to say, we need you guys, we need you to be a bit louder. So talk to us about that defense line. I mean, it has been questionable for a bit of a while, especially when Sisana and Da went out. But now you're seeing a Sibisi and a Kloki coming in, and of course Mbokazi Ngoku.
Yeah, I think for Pirates, that's just been like a little bit of a difficult period, because a lot of people spoke about rotation, and sometimes you don't want to destabilize your back four, you know, and they've had suspensions, they've got injuries, and now they had to now bring in some of the youngsters to try and fill that in. But during that process, you're losing ground, because now you're not performing, you're not getting the results, because you've changed the whole back four, or you just still have that one experienced defender in Sibisi. Now he's got a lot of work to do. He must deal with Ndlozi, he must deal with, you understand?
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a challenge, but I think they were solid at the weekend. I think they did a fantastic job. Obviously, who wants to lose 4-1 and go into the next match and not do well? You know, I think they were highly motivated for this game. So yeah, shout out to them.
I was a bit, when I saw the lineup, my worry was with Mbokazi. I was a little bit concerned, saying maybe the stage may be a little bit too high.
Because of the quality of the Sundowns.
Because of the Sundowns attack. I said, hey, they're going to eat him alive, this kid. And he played extremely well. And also with the new system, because they play 3 at the back.
Yes.
Which is something I guess they probably worked on training, I don't know. It's something which Pirates don't normally do, because they normally play 4 at the back, you know. I felt maybe the system, but also the critical thing about him now is that because of the left, the current scenario is a left-footed centre back, because you could go to the left, Kloki and CBC on the other side. So he had a very, very good game, but as they always say, it's okay to have a good game against a big team like Sundowns, but consistency. And also I think, I've said this thing before and I'll say it again, let's just calm down a bit. Let's allow the kid to play football, not too much pressure. And without pressure, I think he will be much freer, and he will be able to excel. But we definitely, as South Africans, should be happy that we've got a defender like that.
No,
He's definitely one for the future.
True that. Oupa, we spoke when we were watching the game how the three at the back, Pirates, was in terms of their build-up. They probably had a flat 4 or 3 in terms of the build-up, and that did not allow Sundowns to actually allow and pressure them. I think, like you said, they worked on it during the week.
Yeah.
And it worked for them because, I mean, they were just solid because normally I don't see Pirates, with good build-up.
Yeah.
You know, and the fullbacks would open right close to the corner flag, like a flat line.
Yeah.
And obviously, with Sundowns, you have your
Reyners.
Sibele. So they stretched them a bit, and now that had to force the Sundowns 3 midfielders, one of them to
stretch out
step
also.
out wide, and I think,
Yeah, it was fascinating. And I mean, obviously, to see the bit of a chess match that was happening.
Yeah.
The two teams released the team list very late.
Yeah.
Because apparently the Pirates side there was a late change from their team that was that was supposed to have played. So it shows you how crucial this game was and how the mind games were there, how the planning and all that kind of thing. But on Bogas, I mean, as you have said, I think top young talent. Yeah.
And for Mbokazi, I think we have to applaud Hoto. Because Hoto was playing a big role for him.
Yeah.
He was going up and down that line, making sure that they don't break the ball.
Yeah.
Even when they go out from the build-up,
Yes.
he always chip to Hoto because Ribeiro is always in between. He doesn't know where to go,
Yeah.
Mbokazi or Hoto.
Yeah, to give him options because sometimes you can get a little bit confused as to what to do now, especially
Yeah.
when there's pressure. You are right, because senior players must always have that in mind that I'm playing with an experienced player. I need to help him so that he shines because Hoto does not need to shine, but the boy needs to shine. That's why I end up being the man of the match because if he shines, he's confident and the sky can only be the limit. Excuse the pun, but
I get that. But I mean, when you talk about protection, then you also have to bring in a cash or Makhahleni as well, because you saw how protective as well he was of that defense line. He wasn't attacking on the day. He just had to protect that defense. Talk to us about Cash and really what he's done for Orlando Pirates. You can start, Ace.
Funny how Cash is a striker.
yeah, ne?
You know,
Originally, he's a striker.
he's a striker. He was playing the striker, Cash.
Because you must have played with him as a junior.
Yeah.
I
Sure.
sometimes see him next to the box there, and I'm like,
No, Cash has been doing very well, and mostly importantly, around Mbata.
Yeah.
Because I think they understand each other that Cash is going to bulldoze, Mbata will make Pirates play. So it's something that they have to work on and make sure that they really, really understand each other.
Sure.
And in the last game, you remember Mbata was not there.
yes,
And they had to play Dlamini in that role.
Yeah.
But now the difference with this game is that Dlamini went to
Yeah,
10,
to a 10,
to
yes.
his normal position.
True.
That's why there was stability, even though Patrick Masonganya was not there.
Yeah.
But for me, if the season were to finish today, I only have got 2 guys, player of the season, Ribeiro and Makaula. I don't even want the 3rd player.
He's been saying this for
Okay.
a whole month now.
Because a player like Makaula, you don't see
You don't see
the
him,
importance of him.
but it's
Yeah.
critical
Yeah,
to
but it's
Pirates.
critical.
And it's interesting you say that. Mehlo Makul, Roy,
Yeah.
he also says that we don't give Cash his flowers enough. He feels that we don't appreciate him as a nation. Do you guys feel the same way?
Yeah, I'd echo his words as well because, I mean, every time there's a play of the season, it's either the striker, it's a
Ke bolele,
midfielder.
so.
Get a defender. Some defenders, they work hard, they work really hard, for you to actually create the chances and all of that, and defend for you at the same time. So I think maybe this season, like you say,
No, definitely.
but I know a lot of people are looking at that other number 10. That side,
No.
But yeah.
No. You look, go back into history. The Real Madrid Galacticos.
Yeah.
They lost Claude Magelle, the whole thing collapsed. That's the significance of a defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
He has been very
Phenomenal,
vital for Pirates. He has played well,
And he's been
even on Saturday.
consistent too.
Yeah.
Even on Saturday, he could easily have been the man of the match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. But the tactics were spot on.
Yeah.
Because Sundowns could not even get passes
No.
in the midfield. First time I've never, Kibona Allende can't even find Mokoena.
Yeah.
I was like, these guys are well positioned.
And the other thing I want to talk to you guys about, the significance of players who are going to fill the pitch. is so that you can be able to wear the right stuff. Why were they following these guys the whole time?
I don't think the TEVs are the same. Like the FNB one, it's so light.
Yeah, and it had rained.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a bit,
And they cut it very short, the FNB one.
So that makes it difficult, you know. But obviously, as a player, I think
Must adjust.
I think you must
Starts
adjust.
of new starts, you're gonna fall.
Start and you start, you're gonna
Okay.
fall.
You
Would
go fall, my
would
friend.
you do that under Coach Pitso? Just fall like that. Hey, boy, I mate, man. Oh, man, hey, man. Hey, I'll go in there.
Cheers, talk to him, man.
Yeah, talk to him. Oh, I'm talking to Jesus.
I find that quite interesting. I mean, then we might as well bring in the mind games when you talk about pizza, because I've seen also quite a lot of the fans saying, but why were Sundowns players going the other side, the other exit, instead of using the tunnel? Talk to us about FNB Stadium and really what it means when you go there and Chiefs is not there.
Let's take this one.
Well, maybe I'll come in there.
Yeah.
They explained it after a match that the main dressing room at FNB
It's for you.
It's for
is
Chiefs,
for
which they lock.
Chiefs, and it's been renovated. And actually, Bertie showed us the picture, so it's very, very beautiful. It's like Loftus, you know, Loftus is
Yeah.
a big with the balls things there.
Yeah.
So, and apparently they were notified before the match that that dressing room is not available. So Chiefs, Sundowns had to go to that one on the far left of the stadium, which is far. That's why they came out of that side to get to warm up. And then before the match, when Pirates were waiting there, they took too long to come. You know, so it was just one of those things. But I mean, I wouldn't say Sundowns lost because of that stuff. I mean, these are proper. Experienced
Are they
footballers.
renovating? There's always problems there.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know.
Me, I'm
Yeah, and also the thing is, I mean, I think the league needs to deal with this thing because it's going to happen some way.
Yeah.
At another venue where the home team or the team that plays, they will say, no, this is our training room, we have renovated it, we don't want anybody here.
Yeah.
And nobody wants a stadium in South Africa except for the universities. So what's going to happen now? That Chiefs does not belong, that stadium does not belong to Chiefs.
So does it mean we're gonna go to a point where we're changing the bus?
I like this questioning from you guys.
Yeah,
Answer
so
influencer.
it was just one of those things that happened in a match.
Yeah.
You always suspect them when these two teams meet. I mean, the rivalry is there.
Yeah.
The mind games will be there, and I guess it adds to the intrigue and to the fun. I mean, there was another issue of the fans as to who must sit in the middle on the other side of the stadium. I mean, the guys spent close to 30 minutes pleading with the fans to move so that Pirates fans can be there. You know, those are the things that are unique to South African football, and you know, as long as there are no problems, ultimately the game of football continues.
And
that's fine.
There's doors there. As you walk down the tunnel, there's doors. So
You must walk this
walk
you
this
can't go
side.
this side.
Yeah.
You walk this side.
Yeah,
no,
it's a problem.
It's a problem. You can't pass. that
You
side.
know,
No,
they
no,
fight
these
for
are
benches
fight for
there and all
benches.
those
It's
things.
just-
And
yeah,
if you've seen one of the crazy things, when they're warming up, even the other ball goes on the other side.
Yes.
Yes.
They don't even want to
You
touch
don't want
it.
to touch it, yeah.
I actually wanted to ask you guys about like some superstitions, because I found out that some people, right, especially the team that will be camping, if they're meeting up with a lady at the stadium, they're not allowed to touch a lady and shake their hand. That's not a thing. What are some of the superstitions that you guys have had on game day?
Like it's khalakhala.
What is
Eating about
khalakhala?
pork.
Yeah,
Breakfast, you
don't
can't eat pork.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes on.
You must sleep before 12.
Sleep before a certain time.
Yeah.
No handshakes on the field. That's why you find the guys, you know, giving the first palm. Yeah, no ladies allowed. But now there's ladies involved in football.
They want polo shoes. Coach, my father is. Are you the doctor? Decide, my friend.
Yeah. I've actually experienced this thing. When I was at Sundowns, I grew up, you know, like in front of Thomas Manhaka, the late, you know,
Yes.
so Sundowns were playing Super Sport at Lucas Morepe.
Yeah.
I can't just walk past him, you know. So it was actually a big deal that, you know, no, leave this man, you know.
Yeah.
But I had to show respect to the guy that I know very well, just to say hi, and then, you know, but, you know, fortunately Sundowns won, and if they had lost, they were going to blame me. It's one of those things, yeah.
You get blamed for such things.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they do. Okay, we're running out of time, which is
Already?
crazy. Already. But before we wrap up this conversation in terms of Orlando Pirates and Mamelodi Sundowns, Ires defense against Sundowns, I really genuinely feel that it needs a little bit more tweaking. And I mean, you look at a Suarez who's there. I think sometimes especially in this game, he forgets his main priority. That, my guy, you need to stay. I love, and I think we've seen that in Liverpool with Trent as well, which has always been Trent's criticism. That, Sharp, going forward, you give us a lot, but we need you in the back line as well. Talk to us about that defense here, Sundowns.
For me, reason why Sundowns doesn't want to lose the ball, they know their weaknesses.
Yeah.
That's why every time when they lose the ball, they make sure they counter press.
Yep.
So that they don't go and mark, because they know their defense is very slow.
It is.
It's very, very slow.
And there's no fixing it.
They can fix it, but it's because of teams when they play Sundowns,
Yeah.
they drop back. They don't really test the defense.
Sure.
Oh, true. And also just to add on that, I think with Evidence playing,
Yeah.
it made it difficult because
He was solid in the game
Evidence
as
was,
well.
you know, he makes those runs.
Yeah.
So all the time he was taking Suarez out. If you look at how the goals came as well, one of the centre back was always out, and that was Suarez on that
Yeah.
side. Took him out to the side. When you come in, there's less numbers, you know. It looked a little bit, Sundowns slow. They were a bit slow. For me, they looked a bit slow. There was no reaction. They tried the counter press, but Pirates had that first pass forward, you know, and which really helped them. It created that space. And having Relo not drop too much gave them that opportunity to actually get those 2 goals, you know, and it worked for them.
And those things force you to make mistakes, because if you check at Suarez, he just didn't have enough time to
To settle.
Settle.
He was forced into mistakes, and in tennis it goes unforced errors.
Yeah.
The other person put you under so much pressure that you are going to make mistakes
Yes.
Yeah.
that you ordinarily would not do. And if you go 2 down in a big match like that, it's too much to come
Yeah.
back. It's too much to come back, even if you're Sundowns.
All right. I would be crucified, actually, if I didn't talk about the president, Yama 2000, Relebohile Mofokeng. Talk to us about Relebohile. I mean, you guys have been youngsters playing at a club that comes with so much pressure. And, I mean, there is also concern with some people saying that some games he's really not there. But, I mean, when you need him at big moments, he then delivers.
Yeah.
As a winger, what do you see?
No, like for me, yes, Rilo's been doing so well, you know, and I've had, you know, a chance or privilege to watch him while he was still young as well, you know. And the only thing that I can just say is, let's not put too much pressure on him. Yeah, I mean, he's having fun.
Yeah.
I see myself at that age. I was having fun. I was not worried about whether, okay, it's a bad game or what, this and that. But
Yeah.
I knew that once I get into that field, that's where my joy is. And also, if you're going to want a Relo to be the player that carries a big team like Orlando Pirates, I think that's just going to kill the boy even further, because, I mean, look at the games that he's played already.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been performing from the most part of the beginning of the season. But as a player, you get tired somehow.
Yeah.
I've never seen Relo come off the bench and try to change the game. He's always starting, always playing. And when he's playing, because he's doing so well, we are always expecting something. When he does not do that, then we complain. Yeah, but hey, today he was off, he was this, he was that, you know.
Yeah.
So let's take it a little bit easy on him. Let's try find another Relo, so that, because Ronam we had Joseph, it was me, it was Gift. So if Gift starts, I'm getting a chance to recover. But I'm told, be ready the last 30 minutes. The next game, I start. Gift is on the bench, you know.
Yeah.
And that we used to share the workload. Now that made that we don't have so much pressure from the fans, you know. But now, Pirates are like, Relo guy.
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, he finds himself in a situation, and I'm happy that you know, I think the people at Pirates, he's at the right environment. They just need to find the right balance of how to manage his stuff.
Yeah.
Because, like we're saying, young players like that to carry a big team like Pirates, it can be difficult. Look at what's happening with Chabalala and Oupa, the Chiefs.
That's another one.
At the beginning of the season, much of the load was put on them, and you know, they have not really been able to carry that thing. So, a balance must be found. But at the same time, unfortunately, at the level where he operates, you are ultimately going to be judged with the results, and the numbers are not looking that good for a player of his position. But I was happy with what the Hugo Bruce said about him, that I will back him no matter what, because he picked him for Bafana Bafana before he scored these 2 goals. And I can also maybe say the reason why he was confident to score these goals was because of the backing that he got from the national team coach. And that's what he needs. And also us as football lovers, we shouldn't really be too hard on him. He's a young man who will go through ups and downs. And the only thing that I want to find out from you guys is that what is his best position? Because the other day he plays at a 10, I was not impressed. But mostly he comes on as a winger.
For me, I like him when he comes from the winger because he could see everything. So there by number 10, you need side mirrors. You need side mirrors. But to end on what you said, for me, I think senior guys must protect him. He can't be running all over the place. Sometimes they must just say, wait there. We will go and mark and give it to you so that he can rest.
So that is important then, to have senior players who are also assisting you, which you guys had during your time. But
Who are your senior players?
Oh, man, there's a lot.
Terry McNabb.
Aye, man.
Okay.
I mean, I had William Okpara, I had Papi Khomani, I had Elbedinya, I had Pitso Mosimane, I
Leslie
had
was also there.
Thomas Ngwana, those William Jackson, those were all leaders, you know. So as a young man, I was under some great guidance, you know.
All right, great guidance. And then before we wrap the Betway Premiership, TS Galaxy, you put on Stellenbosch, you put on Polokwane City, and you're really looking at a league that is also quite competitive. I mean, you take away number 1 and number 2, but you look into 3 to the top 8. Talk to us about the rest of course, the teams that have impressed you as well. I mean, Cape Town City stresses me, guys. I look at those players and I think, Kikrim fela, but the disruption that is going on there, Mushin now is gone, and it's just like, okay, what happens next? So, but talk to us about the rest of the league.
For me, I will just say top half.
Yeah.
Top half will get the teams that when they create scoring chance opportunity, they take them. And they make sure that they close at the back. Because you could see they win 1-0, 2-1. It's not a big score.
Yeah.
Because all they want is a goal and go defend their 3 points.
Yeah, I've been impressed by Polokwane, you know. I think Skukune as well.
Oh, yes.
I'm not happy that Sloks is gone, but oh well, it happens.
He just won a trophy in Lesotho over the weekend.
Yeah, you see. I've been impressed by them, you know. I think with them not having enough resources, you know, I think they're up there with the big boys, you know, and they give them a run for their money as well, you know. I mean, Stelli's known for their, you know, the youth that they always produce, you know, they sell all these quality players.
True.
But they are able to replace and still to keep a good position in the league, you know, and I think those are the 2 or 3 teams that have really impressed me this season.
Yeah.
Just worried that Coach Kevin, that is super
Oh,
they're in a territory that we are all not used to.
Yeah, no, I expected so much more from Super Sports this season.
Yeah, for me, I think it's two leagues in one. Pirates and Sundowns, they're doing their own thing there.
And then there's the rest.
These other ones are fighting. I don't know what's happening. But TS Galaxy, very, very good.
Yeah.
To think that they were 14th, I think.
I mean, they were struggling when they fired that
Yes.
Ramovic guy.
True.
And these guys come through. This new striker they've got, very, very good. I forgot his name. He has chipped in with crucial goals. You go to Skukune. Mahalo has been very, very impressive.
Yeah.
And Mokoena, since he came back, even though there are issues around him.
Yeah.
Can
someone tell me about Cape Town City and where they're getting it wrong?
Yeah, Cape Town City, I think for the last few seasons they've had their challenges and they lack consistency. They've got good players. They recruit very well and they always find the right players to fit their own system. But it has just not happened for them. I don't know why. The same thing now with Polokwane. I think they've not won a match in like 6 or 7, which is a worry. But also that with Polokwane shows you the importance of collecting as much as you can at the beginning, because now the second round is tough. Yeah, but the biggest one is SuperSport.
At least they didn't fire their coach. I'm happy that they keep their coach.
Yeah, but the question is, I mean, how long are they going to continue with this thing? I think what needs to happen now, they really need to win their next match.
Yeah.
If they don't win their next match, there will be serious problems, because the other teams around them won over the weekend. Chipa won, Marumo won.
Yeah.
Now, if that happens, you're going to be in a serious problem. But
You know
they really need to win their next match, yeah.
You know what Mbekezeli was saying? He was like, in football, we're basically all like in a hotel. And everybody checks out at a different time. You might be there at a certain club for longer. Some must just be there for a day. And
Well, well, we'll see. We'll see how they're gonna check out at the end of the season.
But on that note, I mean, then we can move over to the good part and just catch up with the gentlemen and, I mean, go down memory lane. We'll start with the most, I mean, your favorite one, influencer, one of the best coaches in the country, Pitso Mosimane. I mean, when we talk about Pitso, it's always quite a special one. And the lovely thing is that you both guys have had the chance to work with him. We'll start with you, Ace. I mean, he gave you your national team debut. How was it working with him?
Before Ace, I think Coach Pitso needs to, I need to invoice him now. I'm giving me a lot of mileage here. He must pay, yeah?
You must pay, yeah?
Crazy guy.
Yeah.
One of the craziest guys. So he gave me the opportunity to play for the national team. And I think it came after I scored the MTN goal.
Oh, yes.
Loftus.
Yeah.
And when I get there by the national team, said to me, my boy, you must hit these goalkeepers. You must hit these goalkeepers. So he's a special guy. He taught me a lot. He really, really taught me a lot.
And what about you, Cheese?
Mamela. The genius himself. No, man. I think the league misses someone like him, man.
Yeah.
I always talk with Kila. I Kila Mara Mdala wa ubata Mdala no. It looks like it's too nice. It's too nice. There's nothing happening. There's no mind games. You know, there's really not much happening. You know, but I've had a lot of experiences with Coach Pitso, and I remember we were playing. I think we were playing in Maritzburg. We had. I was on the bench in that game. I was sitting next to Surprise, so we get a chance. I think they rolled the ball to Malajila, right? 6-yard box, 6-yard box. Mala kicks it over. Because when he watches the game, when he sees something, he looks at the bench and talks to the Surprise. Hey, Mchako, Mchako no, Mchako
He's a good player.
I mean, what's the conversation in halftime now after Mtaka or Batahumjisa?
He'll never say that when the players are there. No, come on, Mala, you can give us more, man. Hey, push yourself. We want goals. I don't want this, what. The other time, Alon Santo, not some Lonsi per se, but he was trying to help him. Pacey down. So Pacey is young, you know, he likes to be on the ball, you know, skill, go gymming. So we're doing a tactical session, Pacey gets on the ball, like, so when we love it, I was surprised, people are for like, I don't need to have a ball, busy, jump. Stop. No. Pacey, oh, me bro, I was supposed to start him. Oh, it's not starting. No, stop this Malakia things.
Oh, Malaki, I've heard that.
As we go for Fakabaluza water, No. The real stuff. I was saying to someone leading up to this Paris match, Coach Pitso, he was just going to say, you don't have to beat Paris to win the league. And then you know.
I think there's a story. There's AC. Because AC is quiet, right? You know, he's very quiet. So Coach Pitso is worried, man. Hey man, Mtako man, how we go kando? Hey man, on come, what?
So we sitting there by the room, we doing analysis. He goes to Keke, say, Keke, Mtako abu. I with the emotions. I'm going to lose a ball. Take a yellow card. So we went and played them. I got the yellow card. Thank you, my dear. Thank you.
You do something?
I can say something.
You don't lose the ball. You don't know your emotions.
You're too quiet. But he was also good in terms of advices, personal stuff, to make sure that you guys do the right things.
It's got love, man. You know, sometimes as a player, you know, you'll only realize maybe after or as you grow a bit older that, you know, there's certain things. Yes, they complain. Yeah, but coach, I'm full like at 10. Hey, my bro, are you watching Champions League? Okay, what happened after 10 minutes? Now you're maybe not even at home. You know, it's like, okay, sharp. I need to get the phone of maybe the mom or the father at home so that you cannot check because he understood what happens outside of football. You know, and you need to be in a right frame for you to actually execute what he needs you to do. You know, and then another one to Yeah, when I coach never try coffee. Look at him. No. We can't lose to this guy. Yeah? He's wearing a suit. I'm not welcome to a suit. No.
We play quiet and we score.
That's
it.
And then how was the rondo? And I asked this because we had Yapi Mutale not long ago, and he was telling the story, Roger, and how Fire was testing him, and how Mahlatse's favorite story. We're not going to get into it. but how are your training sessions? A special one that you can share with us, a special rondo moment.
Maybe testing a new player or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I wanted the arguments and the fights. Yeah, Langaman and Coach Pitso, Anthony Lafort and Pitso. Let me tell you, Langaman. So we get to training. So obviously, coach is not happy ka lifestyle Langaman. And I'm talking so he come to training. Tebogo's mind is all over the place.
Yeah.
Stop. Hey, doctor. Who is that? Doctor. Go take pills. Go take your pills. Go. After 5 minutes. I'm
What about you, Ace? I mean, it doesn't have to be pizza related, but in terms of, a rondo training session where, you had an interesting one. I think at Mayfair, Nadi Bride DJs. I don't know how you guys got that approved.
That was Palacios.
Yeah, no, Coach Palacios is
Palacios.
also...
El Professor.
Oh,
It was before our last league game.
Yeah.
Devon against Arrows.
Arrows, yeah. That's
Swallows was playing, I think, Marisbeck. So we had to win. Rajo Swallows. So we went to training that week. He said to us, this week I need no injuries. We're going to bring DJ. We're having fun, boys.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then we went there and we did braai and everything. Went to the game. He said to us, I will be working against the wall. Yeah. There's big knife like this. I will be checking. Those players with the gorilla faces, I don't trust them.
I know trust they play with the gorilla face.
Yeah.
Hey, look, you need to walk in like this. You can put the knife.
Is that why you were walking like that when you got here?
You know what?
No, but that's special. And when you then talk about special, Cheesy, your first day at Pirates will always be quite the interesting one. Talk to us about jersey number 10. Jersey number 10 is a big thing in football, actually.
No, it is a very big thing in football, And as a youngster, I was somebody that looked up to the player that was wearing number 10 for Pirates.
Yeah.
And then I got promoted. It was still the 3 numbers, so it was jersey number 110, right? So Steve Likula is busy with his rehab.
Yeah.
He got injured, games and stuff. So he's coming back now. He comes to training. So they always had baskets in the change room.
Yeah.
So I come back from school. I'm busy taking off my school shirts, pants. Kit manager no tata another boy. Then I'm looking at them. 110. Oh, yeah, Steve. He's not yet at training.
Yeah.
I get it on. It's okay. Cheaper walks into the change room. Man, pull it. She's number 10. Come on. So I kept quiet. I walked out because he's going to be a little bit late because he's doing rehab. So he's starting the session.
Yeah.
So I go into the session. We play a small-sided game. After that, we go into 11v11. So now I'm up against Gerald Rapahlela, Willem Jackson. So he's jogging on the side,
Yeah.
So as he's jogging, he's taking a breather. He looks at the session. He sees me taking one about Gerald. Bo Abedi, Bo Lucky, they're all falling.
Nice.
Ever since that day, we've always been the best player in the country. Best number 10. The best number 10 in the country.
Cheaper.
Yeah.
Oh, man. And you guys still have that strong relationship till today.
Till today, yeah.
Oh, man, love that. And you have a similar story, but yours is with a coach.
Ish. I think I have a problem with coaching.
Actually, all your coaches.
Everywhere you go.
Talk to us about Owen.
For me, I remember I was signed from Jersey Queen, Africa Sports Academy. I went to the office, I signed, and it was on a Thursday. Friday we went to Durban to play that pre-season game.
Pre-season game,
Remember against Arrows
Yep.
in Durban, came back Sunday, Monday's training. Now the coach is there. We did a circle there by the center.
Yeah.
He's talking, then he comes to me and say, guys, I never signed this player. Go back to the office. Then I went home. Jersey Queen asked me, what's the guy?
This man.
Oh, when I unsigned.
Yeah.
Jersey took a phone from the office. Office called Owen.
Yeah.
Oh, my guy,
Yeah.
that boy must come back to training. Following day, I go to training. You see, guys, this is my player. I signed him. Then it's fine. Then after a couple of years, it's a national team. We have a team talk there. Coach Shakes and Coach Owen.
Yeah.
He's there. You see this boy? I told him when he was young that he's going to play for the national team. My guy.
My guy, when did this happen?
I remember because we felt so bad when he chased Oupa out, you know,
Yeah.
the session, because Coach Owen also is Coach Owen, you know. So he came in, I was like, she was looking at the group, and he's like, and you, who's this player?
Yeah.
And then, you know, he said to leave, you know, obviously we could not say, no, coach, you know, we know Opaki, blah, 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 you know.
Yeah.
And it was nice to see him come back the following day. But I was surprised on the coach's reaction, you know, in terms of, yeah, this is my player, hey, come in, you know. He started
And
showing
I
him
went
love.
to camp that day. We were playing.
Yes, he immediately went to
And
camp.
sat on the bench.
Yeah, he sat on the bench. I'm like, yeah, that
The
was
player he didn't know at all.
a good call that came in there.
Yeah.
That definitely laid the tone.
Yeah, that put a tone to it.
But how was he when he got to Pirates, Cheesy?
Oupa is still the same, man. I'm quite very humble. You know, you can't really tell, you know, what's going through his mind. You know, I
Yeah.
think even as a player, you know, very versatile because he came in, yes, as a midfielder, but because, you know, Oupa is a little bit short, a little bit smaller at that time, you know, they never preferred to play him in that position. So I think Rudy Kroll tried to move him around. At some stage, Oupa was playing right back,
Yes.
and he played really well. There was an official game he played at right
Against
back.
Sox.
Against Clauiee Grace, guys, imagine
Sure.
the Gautrain versus I-10. Yeah?
What?
Yeah?
Impressive.
Orlando Stadium.
Orlando Stadium, you know, but that just shows the magnitude of the player and what he had, you know, and I think that's why, you know, the Parks fans loved him so much, you know. I don't hear it anymore, man. It's a long, guys. Like, I want to play Twaran Polo. I mean, big games like what we come from this weekend. I mean, you know, that's our thing, Mumshanzi.
The thing now with nicknames, nicknames have always been big part of football. I mean, Ace, he comes from the West End. Ace Nzoleng, another level. Ace Kruse, another level. Him. He can't sit in there now telling me who is the player now who can be called Ace in this league. You've just been talking about Chipa Lugulia now. Who is a player now who you can really say is cheaper?
I know.
We just don't have those things
Yeah.
anymore now. They are trying, these boys, nowadays, it's okay, but
Harry, it's okay.
but the football that we saw,
Yeah. I think Coach Tebo Khumloi said that once, you know. I think we had a conversation similar to this. Oh, Jonyan, the players don't know the nickname. It's a jwang is not the nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, Tlofela. Ah, okay. Lebohang Mokoena. What a more on next for the fan now.
no, you can't.
That guy is something else. We used to bash against him. Me
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Shiso, during derby. Or we're going to walk.
Yeah.
We put 1,000, and we walk. Half time we want our man. My guy,
Yeah,
before you talk, give us our man.
man.
So it was fun and we
Yeah.
enjoyed.
Yeah.
Who's Cheeseboy now? Nothing.
So much pressure. I mean, there's the president.
Well,
President only nickname.
okay, it's all right. It's okay.
Help me defend our young players, please.
Look at goalkeepers. Who's Spider? Nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe we are just at a time where nicknames are not a thing.
No,
You
they
know?
are a thing, but they should be a thing.
Yeah.
Because a key reference point.
True.
You know, when we give you a nickname, you remind us of that player.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
Thomas Mandehai was given Chinche because people said he reminded him of the chairman.
Yeah.
You know, that's what happens. Steve
Yeah.
Chipa, you know, who is 16-12 now.
We'll
Even
get
if you had
there.
money to buy, you will never buy that nickname.
Boshaful.
Bushaful.
We are Ed and now
Eh?
she's.
Continental.
Black Jesus.
Skarangobes. Who is the Black Jesus now?
Boom, boom.
Our legs are tender.
I know.
Boom, boom.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
They are not there, man.
With chilies,
Let's be
yeah.
honest.
The sauce.
Okay, we're gonna leave it.
Okay.
Young players, help me out here. Let's try and get you guys nicknames.
But
Fans,
we love
do
the younger
same
players.
thing. No, we do.
They are living in their own time.
Yeah.
We have just spent the whole time now speaking about Mbokazi and Rele and other young players. It's their time, they are doing well, but we are just adding a different angle to it that maybe not quite as what happens before. Yeah.
All
Before we
right.
go to Bafana Bafana.
On that note, before we get to Bafana Bafana, Champions League. And you
Ish.
guys have quite the interesting story with Champions League because so close, especially at OP. And yo, when Abu Trika showed you flames.
Trauma.
Yeah.
Talk to
You
us
see
about
also,
that.
Chloe, just to
Yeah.
add there, that Al Ahly that he played against,
Yeah.
and this one, completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
This
I-
current one comes nowhere near that one.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you. That was
There's
on
something
a
else.
completely another level. But talk to us about that Al Ahly
You
side.
get to the airport, they stole your boat. We went to Egypt while there was war.
Mm.
We had to go and sleep at El Gun, I think. And day before the game, we went to training. There were guns and bombs.
Oh.
One game was bad. The security left us on the field, and we had to run to the bus. We go home.
Yo.
We played 3 o'clock. Yeah, we beat them. Fine. They came this side.
Yeah.
I think we beat them again.
Yeah, we've always beaten Al Ahly, Bafetu.
But for the final, I remember when we went there, there was a guy that told, the captain. Who was the captain? Khalma.
Yeah, Khalmal, there was Goma and
Goma,
those guys.
yeah.
yeah,
Goma.
Goma, yeah, no.
After the game, he came to us and said, if we have won that game, it's either them, they won't leave the stadium, or us.
Mm.
They will be body bags.
Yeah.
And there was a supporter that died that day while celebrating Abu Trika's goal. So it
Sure.
was war.
Yeah, no, it really was. And I mean, Cheese, you've got the same experience. And I mean, and at some point, maybe you can touch on your almost with Sundowns and how you wanted to be a part of it, but it just yeah.
Nal mauta ba tlise medal tsa rona ne. Nna ke batla medal ya ka. You know, I mean, it's you know, as a footballer, I think those are the tournaments you wanna take part in, you know, and obviously having experienced it with Pirates, you know, I lost in the semis against Faxian.
Yeah.
Relebohile, you know, players were bribed at that time, Joe. You
Sure.
know that one of our players was given money.
What?
Lelo Amesa Joe Emonadi tapped in more Ellis Park, first leg. You know, and we found out later. They actually even
You
had a fight
lie.
into William Oupa and the change over stuff
yeah.
because, you know, obviously the language, they speak French, you know. So Lelo had visitors at the hotel, they were sitting, chatting. So there's a lot that goes on when it comes to the Champions League, you know, and the logistics as well. It's a mess because you get there, like Oupa says, they might even steal your playing kit. So you really, really need to be careful, you know, and food poisoning as well does happen.
Yeah.
I remember we went, I think Michu was in charge. I think we went to go play ASEC Mimosa in Abidjan. So what happened is we get to the airport, they're saying the bus is on the way, 2 hours, 3 hours. The bus is on the way, 6, 7, Selipsiu. Now, guys, change of plans. They take us to an army helicopter.
Sure. Maka, bro.
Tebogo was even part of the team, you know, and that was intimidating because you're thinking, I mean, if somebody can shoot a rocket here, guys, we are dead.
It's time, yeah.
You know, we're no more going back home, you know. So yeah, it's a bit of a challenge, but maybe things have changed now.
Yeah.
You know, maybe things are a bit better for South African teams when they go over, but not for your guy, Coach Pitso. Sort them out.
What about that?
No, they want to bully us, we bully them back.
Champions
I
League.
remember there was a moment after that game, 5-0 at Lucas Moripe.
Oh, we figured them out?
Yeah, so he beat them proper. Good, there was not even a referee staff, it was just proper beating.
Yeah.
So he comes to the press conference, Coach Pitso. He's sweating. He's full in the press conference.
Yeah.
He sits down. He looks at us. Then he said, I figured them out. And then that was it. Sundowns, I think, went almost 20 matches without losing at home in the Champions League. Yeah.
True.
Yeah.
It moves from a situation where, when the draw was made, guys were happy to come to South Africa. But to a situation where, when you drew Sundowns, they said, "Ooh, because they knew that they don't win here." Even now, I think they've only lost like 3 matches since forever at home. So
Yeah, no. Figuring them out is of course Pitso style. But I mean, looking at Orlando Pirates now and Mamelodi Sundowns, how far do you think they will go in the Champions League?
They can go as far as they want. For at this stage, it's in their hands. We can even see Pirates and Sundowns in the final, if they really want it.
Sure.
I'd love that. I
We
think
all
that-
love
If
that,
they really
yeah.
want it.
You know, I'd love that. And also the previous league match now was actually a test, because I think I've said it, Soccer Pete, that, you know what, we might have the Nedbank final over Pirates Sundowns, the Champions League.
Final.
You know, that would be
Yeah.
good. But the Champions League one will go down in history if it happens. So we edge them to push themselves.
Who do you think would actually win that? And I ask this because when it comes to cup games, Pirates is normally the dominant side, and then league, is Sundowns.
Oupa.
yeah, it will be tricky. I think they'll have to build another big stadium to accommodate that match, because that will be something else.
It will go down to the wire.
But what makes Pirates do so well in cup games?
Maybe the coach they have, you know, is probably, he knows how to assemble his team for cup competitions, because the league is a marathon. And also with Sundowns, when it comes to the league, they've been doing it for years and years. They have the memo already. They know what to do, and at least this season, Pirates pushed them a little bit, you know. But yeah, they say it's not done yet. But I think
It's done.
He's been saying it's done. He says we are postponing a little bit.
give hope, man.
Sundowns will win the league.
You know,
I
but
can even go into a standoff if Pirates does not increase their depth. Sundowns will win the game next season.
yeah, they need to sort.
They
it
need to
out
sort out that depth thing.
Yeah.
You can't win the league like this.
like this. Yeah,
No,
true.
It doesn't work like that.
No, good point.
Good point. All right, cool. Then before we wrap it up, Bafana Bafana is also in action this week. And I mean, firstly, we'll talk about the youngsters, because we're so passionate about the youngsters. Jaden Adams getting a nod again, especially after his disciplinary issues and the last call-up. Talk to us about Hugo and really giving these youngsters a chance again.
I think he's helping the country in terms of preparing the players for the future, because if you don't have a great balance between experience and youngsters,
Yeah.
that's where you fail to, even if when you like, for example, we were out from the semis in the AFCON, right? And now some guys are getting a little bit older. But now, once, for an example, Mshishi's out, did we really have a player that if this player is about to maybe retire or maybe not play as much as he does,
Yeah.
do we have a replacement? We don't want to throw the young boys into the deep end, you know, but
True.
also you want them to have the experience, you know. I remember when I got my first call-up, you know, I got to the national team, there's a lot of experienced guys, there's Abu Penny, Abu Mbazo, Abu Kanel, Delron Parkley, these people are playing, you know, overseas, you know.
Yeah.
So that just gives you a bit of experience as a player, you know, and for the young one, it's an opportunity, you know, to showcase their talent at the highest level.
Sure.
So Bruce has done a fantastic job thus far. I never really liked it in the beginning because they complained about our star players.
Bro, I
Yeah,
see AJ
but
is
no.
old, and
Yeah.
she's old. I'm like, huh?
They took it
But I love the guy.
No,
He reminds me of what do you call?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the guy. He instills discipline.
Yeah.
Whether you're a big name or not, he will show you that I'm the coach.
And
You are the
also, sorry to interrupt you there, is he told us the truth.
Yeah.
The truth is the truth. You may not like it, but it's the truth. To come back on the issue of Jaden, I think I just don't know if he says he has forgiven. Coach Hugo is a very, very stubborn old man. but he says he has forgiven him. Obviously, it shows by the fact that he's picked him.
Yeah.
Which Mushi should not been there. I would love to see an increased role for Jaden in the national team, especially in that number 10 role. At the moment, in my view, I think he's been the best player of the second round.
Yeah.
Him, that Zamovic guy from TS Galaxy.
Oh,
and Mahalwa at Skukune. They've been probably the best players of the second round so far.
Yeah.
Jaden, you don't see him, but you see him.
He's settled in well. Eh?
Yeah,
Settled in
I think he's probably the only player who has played more minutes for Sundowns since this round, since he joined. That's just how important he is to the team, and he will grow, and he will be a big player for the club and for the country. I'd love to see him play more and more for the national team. So I just don't know how this guy's going to balance the team, but that's where we are. The other interesting thing I want to see is at the central defense between Ngezan and Kegan.
Oh, by the way, he doesn't rate Ngezan.
Yeah, hey,
There's something that the coach sees that you don't see.
I will pick Rakegan any day.
What
All
about
day.
you guys?
Let me reserve my comment. Grant, I agree. Okay, let me just put it out there. You know, I think Ngezana is not a bad player. You know, but maybe like Oupa said, the coach is the one.
Yeah,
maybe
they
sees
like their
something.
people.
Maybe he loves his aggression. Maybe he loves his his height, his
Yeah.
physicality. But in terms of when I look at us as a playing nation, I feel like sometimes he gets caught up. Sometimes the way he defends, it's a little bit dodgy, especially at that level. Something he can improve on. Not saying he can't improve. He can improve.
Yeah.
We're not criticizing him and saying he's really bad.
Yeah.
But we're just putting out pointers there that okay, maybe he needs to work on his technique a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe it's too late. The coaches will tell him, "Kamele khale dile passing under 12."
No, he needs Coach Pitso. When he wins the ball, he must be dead.
Yeah, because he plays a lot of long balls, and so it really doesn't suit probably our style.
And also when you look at Ronwen will want to,
Yes,
Of course.
that's the thing.
then you must.
You must be
correct.
there.
You must be comfortable. You see,
And you are playing. You must remember. Even if it's Lesotho or especially Benin,
Yeah.
that Benin team has got players who are playing in France and all those reasonable leagues where if you don't know what you are doing, they'll press you, they'll dispossess.
True.
And then there'll be big problems. But like we are saying, we are not. There's nothing. I've got nothing against the guy.
True.
I just feel, from a football perspective,
Yep.
maybe Grant will be better. Or even Mutobimval.
Yeah.
Though the both of them also they've got mistakes, but no.
Who else would you choose if not them?
We respect
Maybe go with CBC. Go with CBC and Grant.
because the
He's
coach
been
also
doing-
likes
Actually,
CBC.
yes.
Grant.
I second that.
Because-
BC would
because
do well
he's-
there.
He's really been doing well. I think
Yeah.
CBC has done well, at Pirates, and he's been like always on the bench at the national team. So maybe this is his chance as well to have a partnership with Grant, because Mtobi hasn't been playing. Yeah,
So on the right is Sailor, on the left is
Sailor,
Obri.
Obs,
The
yeah.
defense is back in midfield.
Trusted Mokoena himself.
Yeah.
We have him as that holding, because you need that good pivot
Yeah.
there, because we have a goalkeeper that plays. I don't think long balls
No.
doesn't suit us.
No,
at all.
Ronza. I've seen Ronza plays. It was one of the goals they scored that Loftus. It was a second assist from him. But he said that I saw that the defense was that. And it worked because, but he says that's not how he wants to play. He plays,
True.
start from the back and do the stuff, and so. I don't know if the coach, Oupa was a midfielder,
Yeah, Mokoena,
Yeah. That is in midfield like
just
Oupa
add
King.
there.
He likes Mokoena and Obas.
Yeah,
And then Apolis and Rele.
yeah.
And then the favorite Makho.
Oh, Evie.
Yeah.
That
So,
coach reminds me of Shakes Marshall.
mm.
That he used to do that with Gabuza.
Yeah, Kabusa.
Yeah,
He will pick Gabuza any day,
yes,
and Gabuza will start.
sure.
Would you guys pick him over Mabasa? Because I know there's also that comparison within people to saying, is it unfair for Mabasa not to be part of the team?
No, look, for me, evidence harasses the defenders. You need a player like that. Then you could put the Mabasa to come and finish. Because it's rare where a team will substitute defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unless it's
Let the guy make them tired.
Yeah.
And Mahopa, maybe not in terms of quality, but the structure and the style. He reminds me of Chipa Masinga.
Feel.
Yeah,
Oh, the-
Brafil, yeah.
yes.
Because he will hold, and then you will have both the Octavo shoes
Come join. Yeah.
coming to join Helman
Helmet,
Kalele,
yes. yes.
whoever was being preferred on the left. He holds, and so he needs people to play that can feed off the second balls from him.
Yeah.
And then they. But the coach likes him. He had a good AFCON, and he was very effective at AFCON. You
Yes.
remember during the World Cup in Russia, for France, when they won the
France,
World Cup.
yes, yes.
Giroud never scored a
Giroud.
single goal, but he was the key
Was,
target
yeah.
man.
True.
So you have that kind of thing in
balance.
a football match, and I think the coach Hugo is using that kind of style.
And then the partnership, like we partner him with Arenas to play off him. Like, One striker or two strikers? No?
He'll probably go with two. Lately, he prefers Reynas, and Reynas is doing well for Sundowns. Another player who has done well for Sundowns.
Yeah.
Scored lots of goals. We've got a police who can run at people, whether he starts or comes on as an impact player on the bench, those kinds of things. So we do have a team at Bafana that can be competitive enough. We just have to find a way.
Yeah.
Really, how do we continue without Mushishi? Because Mushishi has been,
Yeah.
you know about the systems.
Yeah, and yes, yeah.
Has been
whole
the
team
system.
will
But I
be
think
done, yeah.
Jaden,
He's knocking.
if he's switched on properly,
But
He will definitely get it
they
right.
tried Tito in that position, right?
They tried really
Yeah,
also.
he
They
no,
tried
he
really
did.
as
It's
well.
just
Pushed
unfortunate
Tapelo
Tito
Morena
is
to the
Then
wing.
pushed
is
Morena
injured right
to,
now.
to the wing.
Okay, guys, we don't have time now to discuss the squad. Quickly,
I'm just not sure about
we're wrapping
about
it up.
Tito.
I want to find out your most special memory of Bafana Bafana. I mean, we all have something that we love, but for you guys as players, what till today stands out as your special moment personally that you still hold dear?
For me, the win against Mexico, we played in the Gold Cup. I think I won man of the match, and I had offers. And then the next day, I was put on a flight back home. And that's my favorite match.
I was really excited. You played that
Yeah, I
match
was with
also.
Tunisia, yeah. So yeah, that stands out, because they played against quality, for Mexican team.
Yeah.
Bogeti, I was busy Salcido. Me and Nomvete were killing them.
Yeah.
So Stuart Baxter was the coach.
Yeah.
So yeah, that stands out for me in terms of my games at the national team.
Sure, I like that.
For
Oupa.
me, it's my first call-up and going to AFCON with Coach Shakes. I think that squad never lost a game during the qualifiers.
Yeah.
We went straight to AFCON.
Go on. Oh yeah.
And then a special moment for you in terms of the field of play. I get that, but Maudlala in the middle of the park. I know that I mean, when we look into Orlando Pirates, what is there? But in terms of Bafana,
It's when I scored, I don't remember, we were playing against Senegal. I
Yeah.
think we drew 1-1. And I scored the first goal, first half.
one of your rockets.
Nah.
It wasn't.
So I was playing in the wing.
Uh-huh.
Shakes used to play me in the wing because at Pirate, he said to me, "You are right there outside, not inside. You are too short." Even now, I was told that I'm short. Imagine.
Oh no.
And that Senegal team must have been a very good
boys.
Senegal team.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
you are not going to ask me
What am I asking you?
about my Bafana Bafana experience.
You didn't play the game. That's how.
My most memorable Bafana Bafana experience was
He's forcing this. Fine, tell us.
Brazil. When we nearly beat Brazil at the FNB Stadium.
Oh yeah.
Oh, well, okay. No, you were writing about it,
then,
I
the
assume.
late Clive Barker got it wrong there by replacing Doggies.
Yeah.
And they come back. That was the real Brazil stuff. Ronaldo, Rivaldo,
Romario.
Dunga, Romario.
Yeah.
And they say that at that time,
You see what the problem is with his memories is that now he wants to make it a conversation.
they're
But finish
saying-
up, influencer.
They're saying at that time, it was for the first time Brazil went down in a match in a long time. At that time.
Oh yeah, because we were
We had
leading
them.
2
Yeah,
though.
yeah, yeah.
We were
had
leading
them,
2.
yeah.
16 scored that beauty of a volley. I know it was
You see, when we say the players,
beauty of a
if you compare that team,
That is the team.
after-
No
after-
ways cheese. No
after
ways
that
cheese. Angeke ndoda.
no, continue.
After that game, because I was watching it, got to Nelco FNP, so
Yeah.
home is like maybe 10, 15 minutes away from the stadium. So she really came in Kuntlu. So Bebeto hurt Aska that
Yeah.
bicycle kick.
Yeah.
Immediately after that, now I went to the room, I took a plastic, I rolled it
You
up.
hit it against the wall.
I tried the Bebeto in the room, broke the bed.
Oh no.
You see? You see?
Yeah, no, at least you tried. But before we get out of here, I think it would also be quite criminal for not to talk about Dugu Dugu and really the influence it's having
Oh,
on these
yes.
youngsters currently. Talk to us. I mean, did you guys see it when he was a player that Njita, or the way he thinks there's a possibility of him being a coach?
He's always been like that. I think I've seen that a long time ago, you know. Very humble. You know, he's got an eye for players as well. And I think also, you know, when you grow up in an environment where you have a coach like Gusto Palacios that's surrounded by all these other legends, the Pirates that coached us, Bo Pashi, Bo Shoes, Bo. So I think he took a bit of that knowledge as well in terms of how to nurture talent and how to spot talent, you know.
Yeah.
And he's very passionate about it. I mean, as a family man as well, you know, you'll never see Joey, even when it comes to interviews, maybe you call him now and say, hey, okay, but yeah, man, I think he's got a good eye for talent.
Yeah.
I think he has helped Orlando Pirates first team, you know. I know he doesn't get much credit and recognition,
True.
but while he was still cooking the boys, we chat and he'd tell me, hey, were you born in that? Because I'd watch the MDC games. I'm like, oh, this boy reminds me of so and so, you know. So when we see them in the first team, you know, I take my hat off to Tugu and say, keep on doing the good work, you know, keep on producing these players.
I want to find out quickly, sorry, influencer, a story. And the reason I ask, remember what Yapi was saying about Benny, that when Benny would come and he would be like, this coach,
You'll coach them.
TV, this one, they don't know what they're talking about. How was Tugu as a player?
No, as a player, Joey was very competitive because, look, we had a lot of players in one position.
Yeah.
Pirates had a lot of wingers, if you can recall. We had a lot of wingers. We had a Patrick Twala, so we were a lot. So to get a chance to play, you know, it's half enough. It just depends on who's getting the nod.
Yeah.
But the brotherhood was always there from all of us. That okay, I might sit down, then you can take the last 30 minutes. Hamstring, we are leading 3-2, but at least so that you can play as well.
Yeah.
You know, and that's the brotherhood that we always had under the tsunami regime that time.
Hey,
Maybe
yeah,
people-
no, it was a
So,
tsunami.
Luena, you had the same impressions about the Dugu Dugu.
Yeah, for me, it's very too different because I'm not surprised what he's doing right now because the time I was not training, I was always sitting with me, coaching me, telling me, don't skip training. Everything that you do, you must do. Don't complain, don't do anything.
Yeah.
Do what you love. I think now he's giving those boys their love. That's why they are enjoying their football.
So was he
Hey,
keeping
wait.
you sane during your 24 months? Okay.
Always. That's cheese.
When you say you didn't like interviews, but I say I was wise with interviews. Oh, he was a nightmare.
I just wanted to play football. Remember my story? My uncle was a Swallows player and he said I will never make it.
Yeah.
And for me, it was personal.
Yeah.
I went to Pirate. Palosha said, I'm too short.
Yeah.
Ace Cruiser came and said, nah, boys that side are not serious. So for me, it was personal.
Yeah. So you had to.
I had
Yeah.
to.
For
Oh
sure.
no, I must put my
Yeah.
location on the map again.
Yeah, no.
And you did.
Alright.
And the sad part is that we didn't even talk about his partnership with AJ. And we don't have time.
No, I'm sure you can squeeze it in.
He always wants to squeeze it in. But talk to us about that.
They never wanted us to play together, train as cheese. I was always at right back.
Yeah.
Because
Really?
we were
No, they were mesmerizing.
mesmerizing the,
midfield
Yeah.
the defenders that train.
quality.
Yo.
Call will say, yeah, Oupa,
Yeah.
go back.
Nine, Oupa,
No,
nine.
no, 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 no.
But why?
Because players would just stand and watch.
Yeah, I would stand and watch, you know, because the synergy as well, you know, I'm like,
Yeah.
yo, these are like twins, I mean twins, but who I'm fit to like, Oupa automatically knows what this one is thinking. Until I think the whole of South Africa saw that. And currently, I don't think I've seen that kind of a combination in that midfield, you know. Kaofela, it's either one or Mnati,
Yeah. You always have
No
that thing.
synergy, yeah.
So Mambush talks about the same situation with the Roger and him and Chuku.
Yes,
Yeah, he says they knew.
Yep,
And they didn't talk much about it. They just know.
yes.
They say sometimes we'll go to Roger and say, please just hold the ball a bit. So
Yeah,
Tohono
so
was, he was just the passes were just coming. You run for 90 minutes.
So how was Oupa communicating because he hardly speaks?
Mr. Simmons, he doesn't You don't have to talk, you know.
You know.
When Roger has it, Mambush knows what to do.
You know the
And
story.
when he goes for tackle, I know that I must go cover.
Yes, correct.
With you, Continental, a special relationship,
my man,
partnership as well.
Yes, yeah. No, that gift was something else.
Yeah.
Like, we'd prepare for trainings, you know, because we shared an apartment together. So there was a story. He woke up the other day, I think, and he comes, he knocks at my door. He's like, Emon, I had a dream. Ke lorile, o tshwara bolo, o right, o fetsa dribble that way, cut her back, ka shapa ntho e nngwe jwang. And it happened in a game.
Sure.
It happened in a game, and I looked at him, I'm like, that's the thing we're talking about, you know, the synergy and the understanding, you know, that sometimes, I always say football is a spiritual thing, you know, sometimes eye contact. You don't need to do anything, but your movement tells me already. Your body, I'm playing, okay, now I must roll it for him to come and shoot, you know, but yeah, I think we lost a great talent there, man. I lost a best friend, somebody I was competitive with also. We'd get to training, what an cause a problem. After training, today we are only using the left foot.
Sure.
I think Pumuto knows the story.
Yeah.
And we got the from the start of the session. If I touch it with my right foot, I give the ball away.
What?
It's a foul.
Yeah.
So we did that, shooting, passing, but that was us trying to improve the weaker leg. Yeah.
Sure. And I wish we had more time, like, to get more stories.
It's your call.
I'm sure my producer there is like, okay,
Yeah,
guys,
by the way,
finish
this one
up.
he told me when I sat with him. When I remember I sat with him.
Yeah.
Today, Monday left, Wednesday right,
Yes.
Thursday both,
Mix it. Yep.
then match day.
Match day, it happens
That date.
automatically.
It's crazy. Do you think current players spend time together? Because that's what I figure with you guys. I mean, I remember you guys going to Gold Reef City. I mean, well, Gold Reef City, but I mean, that's spending time together.
I think it's one or two. They don't do it as a group.
Yeah.
Like, when we used to go to Gold Reef, we used to go to
They have to go
News
lunch,
Cafe, we
have
used to
lunch
go
together.
Pauli,
The
everything.
whole team.
The
Yeah.
whole team.
Yo, been banning, I'm sure.
A whole team, or sometimes
team.
maybe 5-6 guys would go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
5-6 guys would say, no, we're going to play PlayStation and stuff. So that helps as a footballer because, I mean, it's 90,000 people there. Sometimes I can't even hear you.
True.
But by just looking at you, I must already know what are we doing, you know. And even when you are not feeling well or not okay in the morning, I can pick it up. That grumpy today. Then we all move away.
They're not about sharp.
So you've never accused him of being ever grumpy.
No, we knew that.
I agree,
That's absolutely incredible. And unfortunately, we're going to have to end it here for now.
Yeah,
but we'll trust Betway to bring you guys back, yeah?
They must bring them back.
Yeah, no, they must really do the things. But on that note, also Formula One is back. So let's quickly also find out, as we are joined by a special guest, to talk all things Formula One. Well, certainly a lot's been happening in the world of sport. We did say that we'll be talking all things Formula One, and he's supporting the wrong team in London. Talk about EPL. I am absolutely disappointed. Lufefe Mayagisa, who is the founder of Motors TV, joins us now. Fluff, what is going on? Arsenal chokers, but hey, it's okay. How is Arsenal doing so far quickly?
I beg to differ.
You back to differ?
You're only as good as your last game.
You are wearing the right shirt.
Thank you, sir.
But
You're
influencer.
only as good as your last game.
Yeah, you're wearing the right shirt. You're on the right side of London.
Oh, no, this is the wrong side of London. But anyway, that is fine. Influencer, Formula One, Australian Grand Prix, where we were the past weekend. I mean, a lot was happening.
I actually woke up early over the weekend and I watched.
I'm so proud of you.
Drama all over the place.
Yeah.
I'm happy for Orlando to have won. But my question to him is that can he sustain this thing for the rest of the season? Because there's still a long season ahead.
Hey, I don't know if you noticed when they said hold position. He was under pressure there. For me, of the McLaren drivers, I think Oscar is the stronger of the two. mentally, and as a driver, he's not as experienced as Lando. Lando has shown good pace in terms of qualifying, which is what has given him a low-key advantage. And I watched Drive to Survive. He seems to be the #1 driver within that team. And I'm sure that for commercial reasons, if Lando was to win the championship, commercially for McLaren, it means more than it would if Oscar won it.
Sure. And then you're wearing Red Bull, and it's quite interesting also what's happening there. Max Verstappen with Lando Norris, always that battle there. Lando seemed quite happy to put Max behind because he feels he's grown based from last year, taking a lot of lessons after bottling all the pole positions. But talk to us about Red Bull this season and Liam Lawson alongside Max.
Look, Max, for me, after the Brazilian Grand Prix, that drive, he graduated to the greats in the conversation of the greats, because a lot of people had already put him there before that, but I think that drive for me elevated him there.
Yeah.
And looking at his performance versus Liam Lawson, because there's been this low-key thing that Sergio Perez is nowhere near Max's level. But now if Liam is also struggling in a similar fashion, based on one race obviously, then it means maybe there's something there in Max. But let's see how it goes. I mean, the jury's still out. It's Liam's first race. He did change his rear wing before the race, which probably compromised him. But even in quali and practice, he didn't look close enough.
But Fluff, don't you think it's Max's team? Like, the best thing that you can do, because I feel it's so difficult to try and catch up with a Max. I mean, he's been at the team. If a Daniel will be pushed out, it kind of shows the environment where you're at. So at this point, try and keep up with Max, yes, but the bar is high for Liam here.
True. I mean, I saw Helmut Marko saying that his job is just to make sure he's not far behind Max. So I don't think he's really allowed to race Max at this stage. But I don't know if I agree with that, considering that Red Bull lost the Constructors' Championship last season. They definitely need two competitive drivers to try and fight for that also. And the Constructors, yes, it's not as glamorous as the drivers, but it's the team championship and brings more money.
On something a bit different, in tennis I've always rooted for Serena Williams. In golf I've always gone with Tiger Woods. Yeah, I've got a soft spot for...
We see where it's all going.
Yeah, I have a soft spot for Lewis. Why do you rate his chances now that also is within your team?
Okay, look, I think the transition for Lewis, it's a big one, because he was with Mercedes for, I think, 13 seasons. And then he was at McLaren before that for 6 seasons, which are, yes, Mercedes is a German brand, but they're based in England. It's majority UK-based people. Their factories are in Brixworth and Brackley. So the transition from McLaren to Mercedes would have been smoother, because it was even a McLaren Mercedes supplied engine, so he didn't even have to change engines. But going to a new country, Maranello, the language barrier, the culture of Ferrari, I think it's a big step. If you listen to the radio messages with his new race engineer, they were going back and forth, because the race engineer is probably giving him information he would have given Carlos Sainz, but for Lewis maybe it's not the same vibe. So I think they're going to take a bit of time to find each other. I mean, the data from this last race, they will have banked, and it will give them a lot to work with going into China this weekend.
Do you trust that strategy team in Ferrari and making the right calls at the right
the
time?
look on her face for me. I think Lewis is going to have to take the bull by the horn with that one. I mean, they've already caused a blunder, and it's only round one. And he called it out in a very polite manner to say, that's a missed opportunity. And when he's saying that, he's at the pit entry. Like, that's the irony of it. Because had they pitted then, he would have definitely made up places during that safety car period. So I think these are the things that the Gremlins, they need to iron out. gents, can I have a say in when we pit and when we don't, especially in changing conditions?
All right.
So the answer is no.
The answer is no. Hectic. So talk to us about the current rookies.
Gabriel Bortoleto,
Sure.
that's the name. Kick Salva, current F2 champion.
What
From
makes
Brazil,
him special? Yeah.
he won the F2, same like Oscar. First year, last year, and more dominant than Oscar, and F3 the year before. Underrated, Kick Salva, it's a slow team. Before all he crashed, he was ahead of Hulkenberg. He out-qualified him. Of the rookie teammates, he's the only one to have done that.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then the rookie that has the hype, Kimi
Kimi
Antonelli.
Antonelli.
Talk to us about Kimi.
Okay. No, he's not bad. He's really good. I'm impressed with him as well.
Yeah.
And someone said to me, give me a hot take for the season.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Ah,
He's going to finish ahead of George Russell in the championship.
okay.
What?
Here's the second one. Max Verstappen to replace George if that happens next season at Mercedes.
Big calls, eh?
I'm stressed.
Big calls.
Very big. But he's normally spot on. You know how you've got your football spot on? He's normally your Formula 1 spot on.
We
So
had the Betway guys here, Ile. I don't know if I can bet on these things.
I think you can. I've seen there's a Formula 1 section on Betway too. But I mean, Fluff, just to wrap it
That's
up.
interesting.
What?
What you just said there.
Fluff?
But keep it moving.
Talk to us about Shanghai, your expectations, and really the track. Which team will be most favored based on the characteristic of the track?
Hey, McLaren looks like it's an all-circuit dominant kind of car.
Yeah.
If you see the gap that they built as soon as Oscar repassed Max, they were like 15 seconds ahead in 8 or 9 laps.
Yeah.
That's scary. It's giving Rosberg, Hamilton, 2014, 15, 16. It was them, and then it was everyone else. That's how it felt. I hope I'm wrong,
Yeah.
because when Max was ahead of Oscar, he was able to stay ahead. He had to make a mistake, which Oscar forced him into in order for Oscar to overtake. But once they're ahead, of which last year they did say that their cars were way faster in clear air. So I think McLaren, definitely the
continue.
favorite going into this one. China, it's a high-speed circuit. I like it, long straights, unlike this one where they had to have 4 DRS zones in Albert Park because it's difficult to overtake. There it's a little easier. Second, I think it's between Mercedes and Red Bull. It's just, I think Max is the difference in that Red Bull car, but Mercedes looks strong. Are we surprised that now they're strong that Lewis has left? That's the question.
Screw.
I mean,
Influence.
they've gone the side pod route now, which Lewis said they should do in 2022.
22. Yeah.
Over to you, influencer.
I was going to ask, as the season progresses, speak to your guys. I want to get to Monaco. Please get me there.
Yo, starting high,
Hey,
this man.
bro.
I think let's go to Indian. What's this?
I don't have to fly first class.
Interlagos. Let's go to
Yeah,
Interlagos
start
first,
here, bro.
and then we'll work our way to Monaco.
Business class, 3-star hotel, I'm happy. VIP, we're good.
PFP, with business class, I think you need 7-star for consistency. Paddock pass.
Paddock pass. That's exactly what you need. But
Yes.
Fluff, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
We'll need more time as the season progresses.
Fede.
Who's your driver of the season and who's winning constructors? I know first round, but who do you think it's going to go to?
Look, early indications are McLaren will retain it.
Uh-huh.
However, based on what we've seen over the last 2-3 seasons,
Yeah.
that teams are able to develop enormously during the course of the season.
Yeah.
We could see early dominance from McLaren, who were far behind at the beginning of last season,
True.
and then came flying through. I mean, if you look at Williams, where they are now, my team.
Yes.
So let's give it to McLaren provisionally, but I would wait till around 6-7 before committing myself to that one. But I am backing Oscar to beat Lando.
All right.
Yeah.
Big predictions that we're getting here in Arena Sports Show, but so much, of course, to talk about in the world of sport. That is how we'll wrap it up today. I know we've taken so much of your time, but I'm hoping you enjoyed the conversation as much as we did today. Do you take care of yourself? We'll see you in the next one. Cheers. Goodbye.